So hi all, welcome to Ego, the skill provider. Today we are going to focus something on structures, right? A very good structures I have taken for you. It's not about tense and time. Okay. Whenever I say structures, it's not about tense and time most of the time. Because tense and time is the basic structure, right? So you have already gone through that. And those who have new joinees, who have joined with us recently, we are taking separate classes for them. So obviously, we are not going to discuss tense and time in this particular regular classes. So what exactly I'm going to teach you today? A different structure. Okay. So what is the structure? So first, let me tell you the importance of structure. You know that without structure, it's very difficult to speak English. Whether you are a new joining or you have been attending the class more than let it be 2 months or 3 months. Structure is very important. ଆପଣ ମାନେ ଜାଣିଛନ୍ତି structure ନହେଲେ ଆପଣ English କହିପାରିବେନି, right? So for each and everything you need the structure. That's quite interesting, right? What exactly I'm going to do today? ଆଜି ମୁଁ କଣ ଆପଣଙ୍କୁ ଶିଖେଇବା ପାଇଁ ଚାହୁଁଛି? Something called a new structure. So what is that? What about the structure? Say structure টা কোন? So before that I can tell you more about the structure. Okay. Here is something called some some sentences are there. Three sentences I have put it here. Tinta sentence mu ଦେଇଛି ଆପଣ ଆରାମ ସେ ପଢନ୍ତୁ. Just closely examine the following sentences. The first sentence, what I have written it here, I used to take spicy food. Used to take spicy food. Here I am used to taking spicy food. The third, I am getting used to taking spicy food. So three different structures have been given. Three different, sentences, right? So what is the common thing you can find it out? You can say, sir, here used to is there, here used to is there, here used to is there. But here, before used to, only subject is there. But here, before used to, something called am is there. And here, before used to, something called get is there, right? So anyway, whether the three sentences indicate the same type of now meaning or it is completely different, we are going to examine today, and this is the structure for today. So we are going to learn something called that how you can use to in different situations. Upon the samaste use to taku gote sentence re mu already kahi deithili, it's a modal, eta apanko mind re achi, it's a past modal, right? It's a past modal and it will represent a particular situation. It out a particular situation could represent କରୁଛି, right? What is it? Is a repeated action in the past or something called a past habit. Those who have new joining, don't worry, I am going to give you various models, but I request everybody to listen it because these structures are very important. Okay. So ame kona dekhile etu, what exactly you have seen it now, that used to is something called a model. Used to is something called a model, and it is called a past model because it is used for past tense only. You cannot use for present tense or future time. That you have already known it, right? So jodi apan kahibe je either it is a repeated action in the past or it is used for past habit, jota ki apan already we have gone through that, right? You can say like, I used to play cricket when I was a child. I used to go to temple when I was a child. I used to take this much of food when I was very young kid. So like that, the list goes on. It's something called a past habit. Habit, that you are doing it every day, that you have been doing it for quite some time. That is called your habit. Suppose 6 o'clock you wake up in the morning. You can say that is my habit. You take tea. You go to you sip tea, or you go to temple. You hit the gym. You take a morning walk. Anything you do regularly. That is something called your habit. Set up a habit, right? And here, the sentence structure is entirely different, man. They are not the same. Look, here am and here get is there. Getting. That means the form is get. Here am means suppose mu jodi seta he re likhi thanti kon heitanta he is used to taking spicy food. So obviously the be form is there. Be mane each am are what way, each am are what way. So ethi apun dekhuchanti used to purbaru kichi lagin, only subject is there, I is the subject. Very important observation, please. And this kind of thing is required to speak English just like a native speaker. Upon man native speaker bhai English कहिया पे हेले, you are supposed to know some extra structures also. जेहेतु मु used to अपन को modals रे पढ़े देइथिली, मु भाबिले it is better we can go little bit extension model. तो used to हम केवल खाली माइंड रे आपनकर अछि जे used to लागिछि माने सेटा गोटा modal हबो. But today I am going to tell you that used to लगे मध्य आपण आउ दीटा अर्थ तार बाहर कर परियो, and what are these we are going to examine. Very interesting observation also. काहे कि ना एडा को आपन को बहुत हेल्प करियो in your spoken English. It is going to help you immensely, immense help. Okay, the help is something you cannot imagine. Jodi ए structure आपण जानु नांती, then obviously you are going for a corporate like you want to speak correctly, or you are going for a corporate job, it's quite difficult for you. And basically if you are going for any public sector undertaking, any kind of job, and this is very important. Okay, very important. Okay, so what you can understand from here, ame dekhile thi I used to take spicy food, I am used to taking spicy food, I am getting used to taking spicy food. So let's try to examine the things. So what you have understood from the things, here we come to know that something called used to, be used to, and get used. Used to taku ame tinita way re padi pariba. One is called used to, means only used to, and be plus used to, and get plus used to. Whenever you ask me, sir, be mane kon, already I will inform you. Let me write it for you. Be stands for something called is, am, are, was, and where. This is something called be, right? This is something called be. Whenever I say be, so that means you can say is, am, are, was, where. Whereas is, am, are called the present tense, whereas was, where the past tense. Okay. And here get, the get verb you know, get, got. That is called British English. American English, get, got, gotten. V1, V2, V3. ଆମେ ଜାଣିଛନ୍ତି ତିନିଟା ଗୋଟେ ଫର୍ମ ର ଗୋଟେ verb ର ତିନିଟା ଫର୍ମ maximum ଥାଏ. One is ଆମେ ବହୁତ ଜାଗାରେ ଲେଖା ହଉଛି V4, V5. What is the need of that here? ଆପଣ ତ ing ଲଗେଇବେ ସେଥିରେ. That is why it is called V5. There is nothing called V5. You take any native speaker, basically Indian author ମାନେ ତାଙ୍କ ମୁଣ୍ଡରୁ ବୁଦ୍ଧି ବାହାର କରି ଲେଖୁଛନ୍ତି. No, it's not like that. Something called V1, V2, V3. V4 and V5, then somebody will tell V6, nothing like that. Only three forms are there. Remember, for your understanding. V1, V2, V3. Go, went, gone. Somebody is telling go, went, gone, going. Going means V4. What going? Are you used anywhere? You going? It is always used in the present progressive. So what is the need of that? Okay. So anyway, we'll limit our discussion to only this. So this is something called get, got. That is called British English. And American English रे ଆମେ ତାକୁ କଣ କହିବା? Get, got, gotten. बहुत लोग got यूज करती और किसी किसी बही रे मेंशन थाई gotten. So why? Because of two version of English we are studying. आपण माने जो माने नुआ जॉइन करछंती मु आपण कहि देबा पई चाहि आपण दीटा इंग्लिश पढछन. Overall, whether it is with me or with anybody in the world, two English we are probably learning. One is called American English, other is called British English. Okay. So what are the forms? Various forms. Then I'll teach you separately. So this is something called used to, can be used in three different ways. One is called used to, be used to, and get used to. ମୁଁ ଯେତେବେଳେ be କହିବି ଆପଣ ଦେଖିବେ is, am, are, was, were. ତ be ର ଗୋଟେ short form ଟା ହଉଛି କଣ? Be is just like a common verb. ତାକୁ ଆମେ derive କରିବା କଣ? is, am, are, was, were. ଏଟା ହଉଛି be or form. Okay, these are the forms that we can find it out. Okay. Right now, let's discuss something called used to. I've already taught you, but still let me teach you once more so that it will be very clear to you. It is a modal that represents a repeated past action or past habit. दैट वेरी pretty sure जेटा ऑलरेडी मैं कहि दिछि आपन जे कोनसी गोटे पास्ट हैबिट को बा पास्ट एक्शन को जेतले आपन रिप्रेजेंट करंती यू कैन यूज something called used to, UACT, used to. Okay, I used to work here. It's a positive. Look, what is the structure and how the we can use it. Subject plus used to plus verb, base form. Base form means V1. Okay, suppose you say go, went, gone. You know it, but still let me put it for your understanding. Go, went, gone. Okay, if I say go, went, gone, this is something called, okay, so go is the base form or V1. We can call it V1 or base form. Okay. So here subject. Subject means I, we, you, they, he, she, it. That is called subject. Okay. And used to plus V1. That means base form. Just take it out. I used to work here. This is the positive sense. तमाने मु एठे काम करथिले एबे आउ काम करनी. It was my past habit. Suppose आपण HDFC बैंक रे काम करथिले वर्षे तळे and you are not working right now. You can say, I used to work in HDFC Bank just 1 year before. Oh, it was a past habit because every day you are going there. Every day you are going there and working. It's a repeated action. एमती नाही बैंक रे जॉइन करके आपण घरे बसथिले. Are you getting my point? So obviously you are going every day. Just जेतला आपण वर्षे तळे काम करथांतु भी आपण प्रतिदिन जाउथिबे 100%. जाउथिले मते. So that is something called you are working every day. Repeated action. You are doing something repeatedly. Okay. So that is something called I used to work in HDFC Bank just 1 year before, 1 year ago, like you can say, 2 years ago, 5 years ago, like that. So that is something called the structure. Okay. This is the positive things. If you want to negative that, how you can negative? You can use did not. Okay. This is a past things. Did not use to. Look, it I did. I केतला कहूना जेंति आमे कहउचंती I went there. I did not go. आपण कहबे कि I did not went. No, I did not go. Exactly. You can say I did not used to work here. That is called negative because already did ହେଇଗଲା so it used to होबनी it used to हो. Okay. This is the things you have to take. This is the negative. And question, did you used to work here? Did you go there? Like that. Question mark means do and did. प्रथमे লাগিব. So this is something called used to. You must have gone through that. Those who have already gone through, like the models, these things I have already informed you. So used to is use something called as a situation. ମୁଁ ଆପଣଙ୍କୁ କହିଥିଲି what is the situation? ଆପଣ ସେଇ situation ରେ ବ୍ୟବହାର କରିବେ ଯେଉଁ situation ରେ ଆପଣ ଗୋଟେ past ଜିନିଷଟାକୁ repeatedly କରୁ. For example, ଆପଣ ବର୍ଷେ ତଳେ smoking କରୁଥିଲେ. ଆପଣ ଗୋଟେ ଦିନ smoking କରୁଥିଲେ? No. It could have been happened frequently. You can say I used to smoke just 1 year before or 1 year ago. I used to smoke 1 year ago. Could you above Purnanti? Remember, this is represent only past habit or repeated action in the past. Upon jaha koruthile. Whatever you did in the past, you can repeatedly, not one time. Suppose upon କହିବେ sir ମୁଁ ପୁରୀ ଯାଉଥିଲି ଗୋଟେ ଦିନ ମୁଁ କହିପାରିବି କି ଆପଣ ବା ଗୋଟେ ଦିନ ଯାଇଛନ୍ତି କହୁଛନ୍ତି ଆପଣ ଯଦି frequently ଯାଉଥିବେ ଆପଣ କହିବେ ଆପଣ ଯଦି ପ୍ରତି ରବିବାର ଯାଉଥିବେ ପୁରୀ ଧରନ୍ତୁ ବର୍ଷେ ତଳେ ଆପଣ ପ୍ରତି ରବିବାର ଦିନ ପୁରୀ ଯାଉଥିବେ then you can say I used to go to Puri on every Sunday just 1 year ago. You can say like, but the work should be repeated, not one time. Try to understand the difference. Suppose I went to Puri, I used to go to Puri. That's the difference. I went to Puri means it is said that it happens once and finished. But whenever you say I used to go there, means you are frequently going in the past. You are doing something very frequently. जो कामटा आपण frequently past रे करूथिले, it can be your habit or anything like that. Anything and everything that you did in the past repeatedly, one by one, one by one, one by one. So that is something called a repeated action, right? And something called repeated action in the past or past habit. You can use used to, and this is very important structure: subject plus used to plus verb, right? And verb V1 form. I have taken 3 forms: positive, negative, and question. The same things you can use it. Okay. So let me go to the next. Section. Once the entire section is over, then the power goes to you. You can ask me any questions regarding this topic. Okay. So then second one, I want to tell you something called B plus used to. What is B plus used to? I have given some examples here. Okay, I am used to taking spicy food. तो सेटा अपन बुझी पार नथिले से समय एटा हुए तो बुझी पारता है sir used to कहिथिले it is a past habit, but what is the meaning of that? I am going to tell you that this is something called be plus used to. Be already mu कहि देछि is, am, are, was, were, so it can be used in the past tense, it can be used in the present tense also. But be the tinta verb अछि is, am, are, was, where was, where is the past tense, is, am, are is the present tense. Just check it out. What is the meaning? It's a phrase that indicates you are familiar with something. Very important. Whenever you are familiar with something, upon the sir, I am familiar with these things, I am familiar with that things, I am familiar with these things. Upon can be used to look away. That's the problem, man. This is for understanding. But whenever you want to speak just like a native speaker, you are supposed to use the right structure. With I'm familiar with that person. But how exactly native speakers speak? You are supposed to know that. You are supposed to know that. Right? So what is that? So whenever I say it is a phrase that indicates you are familiar with something. You are familiar with something. ଆପଣ କାହା ସହିତ ଗୋଟେ ଜିନିଷ ସହିତ ପରିଚିତ କଣ ପରିଚିତ ଦେଖିବା ଓକେ structure and uses subject plus be माने पुणी बारंबार कहते be माने आपण टेंशन नियंत्रु be माने गोटे verb गोटे common verb जोथिरु हमें derive करि परिबा is, am, are, was, were. आई पाखरे am लगेबे we, you and they पाखरे are लगेबे and he she it पाखरे is लगेबे एटा आपण जानि छ ओके I am going, he is going, they are going, it is going, she is going, এটা আপন জানিছন্তি we are going, right, they are going, all the things you know. And was is something called the present and past tense of each or something called am. You can say I was going, you were going, they were going, but he she it was, right. So this is something called be verb. So be plus used to plus be plus ing verb जदि रहिबो सेटा ing form होबो ओके एंड जदि नाउन रहिबो किछ ing form होबार नै. Let me give a example in verb and let me give an example in the something called noun. First with verb, I am used to taking spicy food. देखंतु subject है कि I, be माने am, I पाखे am लागिबो, used to plus be plus ing taking, take ru taking हला spicy food. ता माने कोन हला I am familiar with something. I am very familiar. Suppose मु गोटे छोटी एग्जांपल दउची मु स्पाइस फूड खाई पारेनी मुक्तिकांत सर मो फ्रेंड तो आमे होटल जाउथुनु सर खाई चल छन कहले सर एटा आपन को माने टिके अधिक स्पाइस हो जाईची सर मोर चले आपन कहंती हां सर मोर चले ता माने कोन आमे ओडिया रे कहउछंती सर मोर चले ता माने मु चले नै पारे ता माने टा कोन बिकॉज़ यू आर फैमिलियर माने ए जिंसटा आपन अद्यावधि जानि छन यू आर फैमिलियर accustomed to something. धरतु आपण भुवनेश्वर मो रहउची आई कैन गो एनीवेयर बिकॉज़ आई नो ऑल द स्ट्रक्चर्स मते कहबे सर आपण कोठे अछंती सर मो बरमुंडा रे ई लेन रे अछि ओके आई कैन गो देयर बिकॉज़ आई एम फैमिलियर. So I can say I am used to knowing all the roads or I am used to all the roads. Either verb लगेबे किबा noun लगेबे. Verb लगेले ing form हबो, noun लगेले past noun. देखो तो एटी I am used to taking spicy food. ता माने मु ऑलरेडी एक स्पाइसी फूड से परिचित मोर किसी प्रॉब्लम नहीं. Indians are used to hot climate. Obviously we Indians, we are not foreign people like in England and America and where Switzerland where the climate is little bit cold. हमें इंडिया के क्लाइमेट हॉट है कंपैरेटिवली. सो we Indians are used to hot weather. ता माने कोन हॉट क्लाइमेट ता माने कोन हमें माने टिके उष्ण जलवायु से परिचित. That's the things. Suppose आपण जो जिंसटा familiar you can use I am used to it. I am used to it. Suppose आपण बां हाथ रे लेखनी right. Let me give another example. Suppose जयंती मैडम बां हाथ रे लेखि पारंती तो मु कहि मैडम आपण लेखि पर या I am used to it. त माने I am very familiar. Mean I have been doing it for quite some time. त माने मु किछि दिन होला सेटा करूची तो मते किछि फील लागुनी. देखंतु वीडियो करिवा ऑनलाइन पढ़ेबा इट्स ए ट्रिक आल्सो सो मते जने पचारे मोर सांग माने अछंती आर यू फेसिंग एनी प्रॉब्लम नो आई एम यूज्ड टू इट आर यू गेटिंग माय पॉइंट तो आई एम यूज्ड टू इट त माने किछि दिन हलानी मु करि आछि मु आसे तो फैमिलियर हे गलानी what is tools how to teach them how to control them all the things it requires some etiquette online etiquette so I am familiar so I can say I am used to taking online classes means I am very familiar with right so ଯେତେବେଳେ ଆପଣ କୌଣସି ଗୋଟେ ଜିନିଷ ସହିତ ପରିଚିତ ମାନେ familiar accustomed you have been doing it for quite some time this is the structure I am used to taking spicy food I am used to taking bath in the river all the things but the verb should be ing form check it out subject plus be माने is am are subject be अनुसार चेंज हो अपन जानते जदि I थिबो am लगेबे he थिले is लगेबे past tense ले was लगेबे it's very simple okay suppose अपन कहबे sir अपन ଗୋଟେ past tense रे कहंतु you can say I was used to taking spice food माने मु once upon a time मु नउथिली एबे आ नै पाउनी I was taking a lot of spice food, but my doctor advised don't take this much of spicy food. So I stopped. Like that you can say. You were familiar, but right now you are not familiar. You are not taking that thing. So you can use in the present tense or in the past tense. It doesn't matter. But remember, used to, जो टाइम में गोटे पढ़ी used to, that is used in only past tense. This is that is only used in past tense. But be used to, it can be used in present tense. It can be used in past tense. So this is the things. Look, it's very very important. I am used to taking spice food. आपण भाबुथिए कोन used to लागलानी past tense no. This is the present tense. मु कहि it is a phrase that indicates that you are familiar with something. You are familiar, you are accustomed, you have been doing it for quite some time. Right? Suppose मु डाहण हातरे घंटाडा लगेछि. समस्त बाम हातरे लगांती मु डाहण हातरे लगेछि. तो मते मो सांग पचाले आपण ब्राह्मण या आई एम यूज्ड टू इट. काहे कि ना मु जेतला घंटा देखे मो हाथ बाम हाथ माने डाहण हातटा पळै जाय my right hand goes all of a sudden so I'm used to that ता माने मु ता सहित परिचित I have been quite following it for quite some time right किछि लोक देखिबे माने शीत दिने माने फैन देख सोथि but I cannot do that so मते जने पचेरियो sir it's winter यार you are still using fan yeah I am used to it what do you mean by that ता माने मु आ सहित परिचित ए सिचुएशन सहित मु परिचित I can withstand the pressure. I can withstand the cold that is generated by the fan. Even it's winter, it doesn't matter. I'm used to it. I am used to it. Got it? So this is something called I am used to. Right now, let me tell you something called get plus used to. It indicates the process of becoming familiar. Very important observation. देखो सेटा familiar हेई जाइछंती एटा आपण familiar हबा पई चेष्टा करूछंती कोन हला आपण देखंतुनी स्ट्रक्चर बोली जान मो कथा सुनंतु चलंतु मुक्तिकांत सर वर्तमान जाइछंती केरला जाइछंती केरला जॉब करिवि आपण जानछंती केरला रे सब कोकोनट ऑयल खान I was there for 3 years so I know the culture and everything so and the nitty gritty of culture I can tell you also in a lighter mood I can tell you but not here तो सेठी कोन करंती समस्ते ना कोकोनट ऑयल समस्ते खानसी आपण कबे सर वेज नॉन वेज एवरीथिंग इवन से माछ भजा करिवे ना से दे यूज कोकोनट ऑयल चिकन मटन व्हाटएवर इट डू दे यूज कोकोनट ऑयल किंतु आपण ओडिसा करि परिबे यू कैन नॉट अच्छा वर्तमान मुक्तिकांत सर सेठी गले तो मो ही इज माय फ्रेंड आई विल कॉल अच्छा मुक्तिकांत सर हाउ आर यू देयर ओ माय गॉड से क्लाइमेट इज नॉट गुड सर बट हाउ इट इज सर्वाइविंग आई एम मु खाप खुआई नउछि त माने आस्ते आस्ते आपण खाप खुआउछन दैट इज समथिंग कॉल्ड बिकमिंग फैमिलियर माने आस्ते आस्ते गोटे जिंस जेमति हमें कहउछे गोटे झियोटे जेतले बाहाई की सासुर को जाउछि तो प्रथम दिन रे ताको ऑकवर्ड लागुथिबो बिकॉज़ बापा घर सासुर भीतर डिफरेंस मैडम माने जानि पारथिबे जो माने मैरिड देन सेकंड डे रे थर्ड डे रे ताको कि तांगो घरे फोन करी अच्छा सब ठाकी चलिबो खाप खुआई नउछि खाप खुआई आस्ते आस्ते स्लोली यू आर एडजस्टिंग टू द सिचुएशन so that is something called get used to त माने आपण टोटल फैमिलियर हेई नांती फैमिलियर प्रोसेस ता चाली छि आपण आर यू गेटिंग माय पॉइंट तो फॉर एग्जांपल माने कर मो देखंतु मोर दीटा हाथ अछि आई ऑलवेज यूजिंग हियर फॉर इटिंग मो हाथटा कटि गला वेरी अनफॉर्चूनेटली हाथटा कटि गला मु कोथरे यूज करिवि मो बाम हाथ यूज करिवि खाया पे आपण मते पचेबे सर you very unfortunately you lost your right hand. Oh, how you are eating and other things. Oh, I'm getting used to it. I'm getting used to using my left hand. ତାମାନେ ମୁଁ ଚେଷ୍ଟା କରୁଛି. I'm in the process of adjustment. I'm becoming familiar. I'm total familiar ହେଇନି. Process is on. This is called the process. Are you getting my point? Here, be used to is something called you are already familiar. Ah, yes, I'm used to it. But I'm getting used to it. ମାନେ ମୁଁ ଆଗରୁ ସେମିତି ହେଇନଥିଲା. For example, ଆପଣ ସେଠିକି ଯିବେ, ଆପଣ ଗୋଟେ ଅମଲେଟ ଖାଇବେ, ସେ ଅମଲେଟଟା ନଡ଼ିଆ ତେଲରେ ହେଇଥିବ, ମାନେ ନଡ଼ିଆ ତେଲରେ ତାକୁ ରୋଷ୍ଟିଂ କରାହେଇଥିବ, ତ ଆପଣ ଖାଇପାରିବେନି, but what to do, you have to survive. ତ ଆପଣ କଣ କହିବେ, oh my god, କଣ କରିବା, କରିବା ପାଇଁ ପଡୁଛି, ଆଉ ଏ ଯୋଉ କରିବା ପାଇଁ ପଡୁଛି ଆପଣ କୁହନ୍ତି, that is called I'm getting used to it. ଆପଣ କୁହନ୍ତି ନା କଣ କରିବା, ଆଉ ବାଧ୍ୟ ହଉଛି କରିବା ପାଇଁ, ଆଉ କିଛି ଅପସନ ମୋ ପାଖରେ ନାହିଁ, ତ ଆପଣଙ୍କ ପାଖରେ ଅପସନ ନଥିଲେ ଆପଣ କଣ କରିବେ, obviously ସେ ପରିସ୍ଥିତି ସହିତ ସେ particular situation ସହିତ ଆପଣ adjustment ହେବେ, and that is called getting used to it. I'm getting used to it. Okay, so here I have given an example here. I'm getting used to taking spice food. ମୋ ଜିନ୍ଦଗିରେ ମୁଁ spice food ଖାଇ ନଥିଲି, but କଣ କରିବି, ତାମିଲନାଡୁ ପଳେଇ ଆସିଛି, ସେମାନେ ସବୁ ଲଙ୍କା ତରକାରୀ ଦେଲେଣି, ମତେ ତ ଖାଇବା ପାଇଁ ପଡିବ, because I have to survive. I don't know how to cook. So what do I have to do? I'm getting used to it. ତାମାନେ ମୁଁ ସେ ପରିସ୍ଥିତି ସହିତ familiar ହଉଛି. I'm trying to accustom. I'm trying to getting familiar with it. That is called I'm getting used to it. Okay. I'm getting used to taking spice food. ମୁଁ କହିଥିଲି, whether it is be plus get, or sorry, be plus used to, or get plus used to, the structure will be same. Subject plus get plus used to plus verb plus ing, or subject plus get plus used to plus noun. ମୁଁ ଦୁଇଟା example ଦେଇ ଦେଇଛି. You can check it out from here. I am getting used to taking spicy food. ତାମାନେ ମୋର ଆଗରୁ spice food ଖାଇବାର ଅଭ୍ୟାସ ନଥିଲା, ବର୍ତ୍ତମାନ ଏମିତି ଗୋଟେ ଜାଗାକୁ ମୁଁ ଆସିଛି ଯେ ମତେ spice food ଖାଇବା ପାଇଁ ପଡୁଛି, ମୁଁ adjust କରୁଛି, ତ adjust କରିବାଟା ଇଂଲିଶରେ କଣ କହିବେ, I am getting used to it. ଆପଣ କହିବେ ସାର୍ ମୁଁ କହିପାରିବି ନା I am adjusting. What do you mean by that? What you are adjusting? No, I'm getting used to it. That is the right word, right structure, and this just like you can transform yourself to a native speaker. ଆପଣ ଗୋଟେ native speaker ହେବାକୁ ଚେଷ୍ଟା କରନ୍ତୁ. Don't follow third grade English that is circulating in the market. Circulating in the market. Market ରେ ଯୋଉ ଜିନିଷଟା ହଉଛି ଆପଣ ତାକୁ follow କରନ୍ତୁ please. There are so many things are there, but they are not going to give you the exact things. I am going to give you the exact things. Actually, in situation रे अपन कोउ structure use करिवे, that's more important. अपन कहबे sir I am adjusting. कौन adjusting? Are you adjusting the bolt, not bolt? What adjusting you are? You are adjusting what? You are not able to. अपन adjust what जानते you are using? No, that's not the right way to speak English. You have to say I'm getting used to it. I'm getting used to it. That means ସେ ଜିନିଷଟା ମୁଁ କରୁଛି. For example, ଜୟନ୍ତୀ ମ୍ୟାଡାମ ଗୋଟେ ଜବ ରେ ଅଛନ୍ତି, ସେ ଆଉ ଗୋଟେ ଜବ ଗଲେ ଆଜ ଆସିଷ୍ଟାଣ୍ଟ ମ୍ୟାନେଜର, ତ ଯେତେ ଆସିଷ୍ଟାଣ୍ଟ ମ୍ୟାନେଜର ହେଲେ ମଧ୍ୟ ଆପଣ ଜେନେରାଲ ମ୍ୟାନେଜର ହେଲେ ମଧ୍ୟ ଗୋଟେ କଲଚର ସହିତ ଆଉ ଗୋଟେ କଲଚର ଏ ଡିଫରେଣ୍ଟ ହବ. ସପୋଜ ତାଙ୍କର ମୁଁ ଜଣେ ବେଷ୍ଟ ଫ୍ରେଣ୍ଡ, ମୁଁ ପଚାରିଲି ମ୍ୟାଡାମ ଆଉ କେମିତି ନୂଆ ଜବ ଲାଗୁଛି, okay sir, it's okay, I'm getting used to it, I'm getting used to its culture, I'm getting used to all the I mean it's I mean environment. ତାମାନେ ମୁଁ adjustment ମୁଁ ଚାଲିଛି, it will take some time. ଯେତେବେଳେ ଆପଣ adjusted ହେଇଯିବେ ଆପଣ କଣ କହିବେ, I got used to it. past tense ହେଇଯିବ get ର got it, I got used to it. Okay, so like that, if you are doing it right now you can say I'm getting used to it. Once you be adjusted it becomes a past tense, then ଆପଣ ଏଟାକୁ change କରିଦେବେ, I got used to it. Oh, initially it was very difficult for me, but right now I got used to it. That is the things you can. So what you can understand from here, we have something called, ଦେଖନ୍ତୁ, I used to take spicy food ମାନେ ମୁଁ ଆଗରୁ spicy food ନଉଥିଲି, ଏବେ କିନ୍ତୁ ନଉନି. First habit, I am used to taking spicy food ମାନେ ମୋର ଅଭ୍ୟାସ, I am familiar, ମୋର କିଛି problem ନାହିଁ. I am getting used to taking spicy food ମାନେ ମୋର ଆଗରୁ ଅଭ୍ୟାସ ନଥିଲା, ବର୍ତ୍ତମାନ ମୁଁ ଅଭ୍ୟାସ କରୁଛି. ଦେଖନ୍ତୁ, 3 sentence 3 different situations, and that is called the power of structure. Okay, so this is something called how to use used to. अपन तो गोटे जिनिस जानथिले used to टा माने ଗୋଟେ past modals, but आजि हमें जानले used to टाकू हमें तीनटा different situation use करि परिबा, and तेटा 3 different situation create 3 different alternative for you. अपन केमति करबे, suppose ଆପଣ ଗୋଟେ ଜାଗାରେ ଜବ୍ କରୁଥିଲେ। ଆପଣ କହିବେ ୟା ଆଇ ୟୁଜ୍ଡ ଟୁ ୱାର୍କ ଦେୟାର। ଆପଣ ମନେକର ଯେକୌଣସି ଗୋଟେ କାମ କରୁଛନ୍ତି ଦେଖନ୍ତୁ ଆପଣ କଣ କରୁଛନ୍ତି ମାନେ ଥଣ୍ଡା ପାଣି ଗୁଡାକ ଆପଣ ବରଫ ଗୁଡା ଖାଇ ପକଉଛନ୍ତି ଖରା ମାନେ ଶୀତ ଦିନ। ତ ଇଟ୍ସ ଭେରି ଷ୍ଟ୍ରେଞ୍ଜ ଟୁ ମି ବିକଜ ଆଇ କ୍ୟାନ୍ ଟେକ୍ ଆଇସ୍। ଧରନ୍ତୁ ଆପଣ ଖାଇ ଦଉଛନ୍ତି ମୁଁ କଣ କହିବି how you are able to take this much ice in this cold, it's bone chilling weather in Odisha, still you are taking ice cream. Yeah, I'm used to it tamane I'm familiar with ice cream, whether it is 0 degree centigrade I can take it. But suppose ଆପଣ ଯାଇଛନ୍ତି ମନେକର ଗୋଟେ ରେଷ୍ଟୁରାଣ୍ଟ ଯାଇଛନ୍ତି and ସେଇଠି ସାଉଥ ଇଣ୍ଡିଆନ ରେଷ୍ଟୁରାଣ୍ଟ ଖାଲି ମାନେ ବେଶୀ ସ୍ପାଇସି ଫୁଡ ମିଳୁଛି ଆପଣ ତ ପୁରା ଟୋଟାଲି ଆପଣ ସ୍ପାଇସି ଖାଆନ୍ତିନି ଘରେ ଆପଣ ଘର ପରିବାର କେହି ଖାଆନ୍ତି you are totally completely banned there at your home କିନ୍ତୁ ଆପଣ ବାଧ୍ୟ ହେବେ ସେଠି ଖାଇବାକୁ ତାହେଲେ କଣ କରିବେ so I am getting used to ବହୁତ ଦୁଃଖରେ ଆପଣ କୁହନ୍ତୁ ମାନେ ମୁଁ ଏଟା ଆଡଜଷ୍ଟମେଣ୍ଟ କରୁଛି right so there's so many situations that you are doing every day the three situation can that denotes the different situation in your life and please remember that I believe the sentence is very clear to you but still I know that you have any doubt you can ask me right away so question I'm expecting a lot of questions from